The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Excuse me! Taxi!
What are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
So I was in a Tesla this weekend, and I loved the Tesla. You know what? Maybe I won't say it because I can't 1,000%. No, I won't say it. But apparently, well, never mind. I love Tesla. All right? I love Tesla. I love the automatic driving thing. But I don't necessarily believe there should be automatic driving unless you guys are confident enough in the systems to take out the steering wheel. All right? So we either go all in or we don't fool around with it, because I think for cosmetic reasons, they leave that steering wheel in, maybe some legal reasons, maybe some liability reasons. But, you know, I either want to be all in on the driverless, and I'm comfortable with that if you guys think we're there. But if we're not there, maybe we shouldn't be there at all. All right, I'm a little bit, all right. So what happened was, it looked to me like the Tesla took a wrong turn on a one-way street. Now, nobody was hurt or anything like that, but this car was just sailing down, you know, kind of fat, dumb, and happy, going the wrong way on a one-way street. And I'm like, whoa, hello, stop. I'm honking my horn. And they told me it was actually on automatic driving. So that gave me big pause. I love Tesla. I love where it's going. But let's work out all the bugs. All right. And then once you are at a place where you don't think you need a steering wheel, because somebody told me the other day, 95% of the time it's great. Then 5% of the time you really got to watch it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I really want, you know what I want? I want a chauffeur. And if the chauffeur is a machine, that's great. But I don't want a chauffeur who's going to go the wrong way ever on a one-way street. You do that once is enough, right? You could die that way. So it's got me concerned. Let's see. I'm going to do a little bit more research and see if I can get to the bottom of that. And this is great from our friends John Solomon at Just the News. A top Biden Justice Department official and key ally of then Attorney General Merrick Garland raised legal concerns about the FBI's raid on Mar-a-Lago, warning that then former President Donald Trump may have actually declassified the records seized by agents, a newly unearthed email obtained by Just the News shows. Patty Stemler, a decades-long DOJ veteran, who was reportedly picked by Garland in 2022 to help consult on Trump-related cases, sent an email just 2 days after the Bureau's August 8, 2022 raid of Trump's Florida resort home, where Stemler said she had a few concerns. Stemler sent the email to Sophia Brill, a future Biden White House lawyer, and then an attorney inside the DOJ's National Security Division, who played a central role in this anti-Trump inquiry. The memo was recently discovered by the Justice Department as part of its investigation into the weaponization of federal law enforcement. I didn't know about this search in advance, but I have been worrying about it ever since and worrying more now, Stemler wrote to Brill on August 10, 2022. Doesn't Trump maintain that he had the authority to declassify documents while he was still president? Has anyone in NSD or OLC, I think that's the Office of Legal Counsel, looked at that? I know we have procedures for declassifying, but is the president as commander-in-chief bound by those procedures? We also have procedures for granting pardons, but the president doesn't have to follow them, she added. That's such a great point. Garland has said he personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant for the FBI's unprecedented raid of Mar-a-Lago back in early August 2022. Her warnings are now the second showing federal law enforcement's unease with the unprecedented raid of Mar-a-Lago. Previously, FBI Director Kash Patel provided Congress evidence that agents did not believe they had met the legal standard of probable cause required for the raid but proceeded anyway. Trump's office told Just the News in mid-August 2022 that the materials with classified markings, which the FBI seized from his Mar-a-Lago estate, had actually been declassified under a standing order while he was president that allowed him to take sensitive materials to the White House residence at night to continue his work. The very fact that these documents were present at Mar-a-Lago means they couldn't have been classified, the former president's office stated at the time. As we can all relate to, everyone ends up having to bring home their work from time to time. American presidents are no different. President Trump, in order to prepare for work the next day, often took documents, including declassified documents from the Oval Office, to the residence. Trump's office added back in August of 22, he had a standing order that documents removed from the Oval Office and taken into the residence were deemed to be declassified. The power to classify and declassify documents rests solely with the President of the United States. The idea that some paper-pushing bureaucrat with classification authority delegated by the President needs to approve of declassification is absurd. That's right. None of this other crap is in the Constitution. Remember that. Stemler appeared to be concerned with exactly that scenario, her email states. I don't know if we intend to charge anyone with respect to the declassified documents seized yesterday, but if we disclose that we found X classified documents before we seek an indictment, will that trench on any fair trial rights or violate the ethical obligations of a prosecutor? I seem to recall that a prosecutor has some leeway to inform the public that we have arrested the serial killer and seized his home evidence that ties him to the murders for the purpose of reassuring the public that they are now safe. But aren't there ethical limits on what a prosecutor can say otherwise? I think this came up when Ashcroft was AG post 9/11. Liz Collery drafted something to get him out of trouble. Let me see if I can find that. John Ashcroft was the attorney general, including during the post 9/11 era under former President Trump. Collery, like Stemler, was a longtime veteran of the DOJ's appellate section inside the criminal division. Has anyone looked at the privacy limitations on our disclosure of information seized from a residence where the disclosure is for a purpose other than investigation or prosecution? Stemler also asked Brill, I seem to recall that a prosecutor has some leeway to inform the public that we have. So look, here's something they weren't banking on. It was probably the most brilliant thing in all of this. President Trump announced what they had done. They thought that President Trump would keep his mouth shut. He said, I've just been raided. I have just been raided. They did not think that would get out, and that put them in a world of hurt.